RFK is planning to meet with top executives of several major food brands on Monday, marking the first sit-down between the new Health and Human Services Secretary and companies he's publicly accused of harming America's health. General Mills and PepsiCo are among those expected to participate in the discussion with Kennedy, said four people familiar with the matter. He agreed to meet with food executives at the suggestion of the White House, which has encouraged cabinet officials to meet with top representatives of industries they oversee. The meeting represents an early high-stakes moment for an industry that has long been a target of Kennedy and his Make America Healthy movement. He has blamed major food. Yeah, we know that. HHS did not respond to a request for comment. These major companies have expressed alarm about MAHA agenda items, such as eliminating seed oils and banning certain food additives. Other issues that could come up in the meeting include ultra-processed foods and the Food and Drug Administration's plans for front-of-pack nutrition labels. So, and General Mills and Pepsi did not respond. So let's see if I can find something on RFK meeting with General Mills.
That's encouraging.
It's encouraging that they're scared. I like it.
Me too. I guess my question too on that would be, well, a lot of them make two different products. And this has been in my mind lately too, is if they make two different products, one that they can send out to other countries and one that they have here, then they're already doing it and they can just,
oh yeah,
there shouldn't be like a 2-year wait, like on the red dye, which is ridiculous.
It's so stupid.
Well, it should be stopped right away and you reformulate quickly, you know, because we know these things are harmful. Because are the people really finding out about that?
Right.
Do they have informed consent? Again, it's informed consent. Do you want your child or you to have these ingredients that may cause cancer, may make your child hyperactive? And now they can't sit still in school. Is that a problem? Most teachers would say so, but do they believe that's the problem? No, just medicate.
Secretary Kennedy said, great discussion today with Consumer Brands CEO of Kraft Heinz, General Mills, Tyson Foods, Kellogg's, Smucker's, and PepsiCo on advancing food safety and radical transparency to protect the health of all Americans, especially our children. We will strengthen consumer trust by getting toxins out of our food. And that was his post yesterday. Let's see what else he's got on here. For far too long, ingredient manufacturers and sponsors have exploited a loophole that has allowed new ingredients and chemicals, often with unknown safety data, to be introduced into U.S. food supply without notification to the FDA or the public. Eliminating the GRAS loophole will provide transparency to consumers, help get our nation's food supply back on track by ensuring that ingredients begin being introduced into foods are safe and ultimately make America healthy again. And then he's got a link here from the HHS's website specifically. That was a document posted yesterday. HHS Secretary Kennedy directs FDA to explore rulemaking to eliminate pathway for companies to self-affirm food ingredients are safe.
Well, there you got the fox, you know, guarding the hen house. And that's been happening for a long time. I saw a post on, it was actually on David Wolf's. He's had a lot of really great ones lately. I'm like, oh, I just want to repost most of them. But it said, so the FDA has approved Twinkies, but not supplements. Think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Twinkies are probably one. Have you ever seen that video where they take the torch? Yeah. They take a torch to one of those propane torches to a Twinkie, and the Twinkie does not burn. It can sit there and You can torch, take it off, and it's not burning. That's scary. That's not food. That is not food. But the FDA approved it, so it is, I guess, sort of. But I bet it's not approved in other countries.
But is the FDA approving the Twinkie or the ingredients in the Twinkie?
Probably the ingredients in which,
Yeah, so
are
that's
suspect.
where, and I still, the FDA, I feel like the FDA is the big green monster that all they want is money, and they're approving so many things. But I think it's also really important that we talk about FDA improves ingredients. They don't improve the food itself. It's the USDA
Right.
that's approving the foods for human consumption. It's the USDA who's promoting these foods for human consumption because they want those foods to be in schools.
Yeah, yeah. And then it's big pharma when we have problems with our health. So it's just a
They're all
nice
joined
little,
together.
yeah, follow the money because
Yeah.
it's, yeah.
Yeah. So
But the thing is that a lot of those ingredients are not allowed in other countries. So think
yes,
about that.
yes,
I
we have
mean,
thousands of ingredients that are allowed in our foods that are not allowed in other countries.
exactly,
Hmm.
exactly. And so, like I said, a lot of them already have two products. The healthier one that goes out to another country, and then we get the crappy one, where I guess they can make more money because maybe the ingredients are cheaper. I don't know, but they're already doing it. Just axe the bad one, and they can sell the healthier one.
Yeah. I was walking with a friend of mine yesterday. She and I walk every Monday, and she's 70, sharp as a tack. Went to the doctor. The doctor ran, the normal tests on her. Of course, her vitamin D is low, but whose isn't? But they want to put her on statins because her cholesterol is at 300. And I said, do you understand that cholesterol was supposed to be at 300 before statins were approved? Like that was healthy cholesterol levels. She was like, no, it's the bad cholesterol that's so high. And I was like, there's no such thing as bad cholesterol. What are your triglycerides? And granted, her triglycerides are high, but I said, the bad cholesterol is all a farce just to get you on a medication. And she kind of knows this. She's done a lot of her own research, and she and I, because she's done carnivore
Right.
before. It's one of the things that brought us together as friends was because I was full carnivore when I met her. And so I really enjoy talking to her about health and wellness, but that was one of the things that we were talking about yesterday is how the pharmaceutical industry is so ingrained in the medical field
Mm-hmm.
that she can't go to a normal physician without them trying to put her on some medication. And she's always been
Yep.
adamant that she won't take any medications. So she asked this lady
Mm-hmm.
yesterday, and this doctor is the doctor that her sister sees, and her sister was told to go on a statin and didn't want to. So she mentioned she told her sister, the doctor told her sister to go to Costco and get this natural food-based steroid or something that's supposed to lower cholesterol, and that was her healthy
Red
alternative for lowering her
red
cholesterol.
rice yeast.
I
Red rice yeast.
oh, maybe, I don't know. But anyway,
That's one that they'll use.
mentioned the same supplement to this doctor as an option. But because the doctor was so irritated with her because of her own research, and the doctor was mad that she had done carnivore and all this other stuff, and that she had
Oh my
all this
gosh.
information on the healing process that she had gone through with doing carnivore because her arthritis went away, like all this stuff. And she's keto now, like she didn't stay on carnivore. But this doctor was so frustrated because my friend knew more about nutrition than she did that when she asked her about taking that, she was like, yeah, I guess you could, instead of promoting it as a healthy alternative.
Of course.
But with her sister, she
Yeah, they
promoted
don't make any
healthy
money off that.
alternative. It's like, oh my gosh. Like it's
Well,
so corrupt. It's so corrupt.
oh, it is. It is. My husband was probably in his, could have been mid 50s to, yeah, probably mid 50s. And we went to a talk at my chiropractor's, and this holistic cardiologist came up and spoke. And chiropractor endorsed this, cardiologist and said, go see him. He's excellent. Well, he wasn't even close. He was like a good 45-minute drive. And so my husband signed up to go see him, got an appointment, drove all the way out there. The guy spoke against statins right there in that, right in the talk with a chiropractor, okay? And so that's why I'm like, well, you ought to go see him and get your stuff numbers done and blah, 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 blah. And he took blood work with him, my husband did. And do you know that he looked at his age, he looked at him and he goes, all my patients your age are on statins. And my husband told him right off, I saw you at this chiropractor. I saw you there. I saw you speak before he made his recommendation, and he still recommended that.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's what I told my friend yesterday.
My husband was livid and, of course, never went back.
Yeah.
And I told the chiropractor, and the chiropractor's like, thank you for telling me. I'm not going to deal with him anymore.
Yeah. The kickback for statins is like chemo. They just make so much money on it. It's depressing.
So, I mean, you and I both know that the cholesterol, our body needs it. Our body needs it for our brain. Yes. It needs it for our hormone production. It is the top of all of your hormone production.
Yes.
So
this is why people are so sick. I mean, this plays a huge part in it. When you combine the medications and the processed foods that we're eating, you look at when it all started. The first fast food restaurant opened in 1946. Statins and high cholesterol issues really began to hit the market in the late 70s and the early 80s, and they claimed diabetes was the reason for it. Diabetes ramped up because of statins. Statins cause diabetes, which causes Alzheimer's, I mean, it's just like this huge trickle effect. And nobody, people are finally waking up to it, but it's like I was telling my friend yesterday, it takes 20 years. It takes 20 years to get something recommended in the medical industry, and it takes 20 more years to get it unrecommended in the medical industry. So we're on that 40-year mark at this point. Now it's time to get the stuff out so that we can be healthy again. And so it's just so interesting to me that we're following what they say is the standard for medical advice. And
I mean, the problem is the doctors are given absolutely no nutrition. They're given no nutrition. They are, God bless them. There are good ones, but they're educated toward big pharma because that's what the medical schools have been designed to do. The pharmaceutical companies come in during the trainings for them, and they teach them that way. And I mean, if you've ever been in a doctor's office and watched the pharmaceutical people come in, they come in with all their stuff. They come in and train the doctors, and then the doctors recommend those things because, they do get kickbacks.
Yep. Especially
with chemo. Chemo's huge.
So Downton Abbey is one of my absolute favorite shows, which I've probably talked about on this before. And my husband and I will watch a little bit of an episode when we eat a meal. And that's pretty much it. So it takes us forever to get through it. But we're in the part of Downton Abbey right now where they're experiencing the Spanish flu, right? Like people are dying from the Spanish flu. And so the people in the house have gotten sick with the Spanish flu, and the doctor is in the house. And they say, okay, well, we have another woman who's come down with the illness and she's currently sleeping, so I don't want to wake her up. And he says, okay, well, when she wakes, give her aspirin and cinnamon and milk. Now, I don't know what the health benefits were considered to be of cinnamon and milk back then, but this was just in the late 19 teens. We hadn't hit 20 yet by now. But it just goes to show that doctors knew nutrition before pharmaceuticals were introduced. That's what they used for medicine, which I think we've talked about in an old episode. That is medicine. I mean, there are books written about food being medicine, and we still trust the pharmaceutical industry. All synthetic, all patented, but you can't patent a natural product. And that's why we are witnessing what we're witnessing in the health industry today.
Exactly. The natural things cannot be patented, and they all start from something natural, and then they're altered to become what we have, and that alteration is what creates sickness and disease. And it's like, so every every single pharmaceutical creates a deficiency in some type of, vitamin, mineral. So
Yes.
that is also creating an issue with your health, because that's what it is deficiencies. It's all deficiencies. Your body, vitamin D, like, you had talked about, that's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Vitamin D is huge. Magnesium is huge. They help with, hundreds of things in the body. So when you're deficient, which most people are in both,
yep,
you're set up. So, and statins, CoQ10. If your doctor's not telling you to take both of them together, they're doing you a disservice. They don't. It may be that they're not doing a disservice. They may not know either.
Yeah, I will give
a lot of them are starting to say so.
She was taking CoQ10 when she was on statins, so that I will give her and he was a good doctor. I didn't know him well, but when I met him before we moved her out to Colorado, I really liked him. He cared. He really did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree.
I think most of them are caring.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I agree. They're not just looking for the money. I could probably go find his name and look him up, and he wouldn't, on that website, and he wouldn't have a lot of the kickback money, but but you can kind of see where the food industry and the pharmaceutical industry also tie in with each other with the vitamin deficiencies. If you look at someone who isn't on any medications, like my friend, but her vitamin levels are still really low, the problem there is when you eat out, you're eating processed food, whether you know it or not. And I know restaurants are starting to do better, but the reality is the seed oils that are in the foods that we eat out, the quality of the ingredients that they're getting from Cisco Foods or whoever they're getting their foods from is so low that it leaches those vitamins and pulls them out of our bodies. So you almost invariably have to supplement in order to have what would be considered a therapeutic level of vitamins. And that's the other problem, is the medical industry does not look at vitamins from a functional perspective. And so the levels that they give us are so low.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
You as a functional practitioner can talk about that and kind of explain that.
Yeah, I mean, I've been taking, and I'm working on the certification for it now, is therapeutic nutrition and supplementation. And there are therapeutic levels, and we may need to start there with somebody because they are so deficient. Our food, sometimes we can't get what we need out of the food. The soils and everything, and what's, the environment, the air, the water, it's it all goes toward growing those foods. And so there's, can be issues with that, with the nutrients that can be actually given to you. But it's the other thing that I noticed locally, we have Publix as a food store chain. I know they're not everywhere, but I think they're in the South.
Yeah, they're not out there.
They're moving into further and further out of Florida. They started in Florida. They've been, I think, my whole life. So
I know they're in the Carolinas.
Yeah. No, I knew they were there, and I think in Georgia, and I'm not sure where else. But anyway, so many years ago, not that long ago, everything was organic. Just everything that was grown was organic. Now you have to look for organic foods, right? Why? Because they have less, pesticides on them, and they don't have the same fertilizers put on them, etc. Well, Publix now, where I did a majority of my shopping, and I'm going to have to look somewhere else, their whole area for fresh produce has dropped to a shelf of organic.
What?
And that shelf is like,
oh wow. That's
so
tragic.
things like, right? And so things like cilantro and parsley and dandelion, which I will use like every week, they're good for detoxing, getting out some of this crap out of our system, the heavy metals, etc. Not organic. Can't find them organic in there anymore. I know. I'm like, wow.
That's so sad. I mean, I can say the same thing. Every now and again, I go into Ralph's because I do most of my shopping at Sprouts. But oddly enough, I was at Sprouts the other day and they didn't have organic grapes. And I like to put grapes in my tuna salad. So I went to Ralph's, which is a Kroger company, and their organic aisle is very small too. They don't have much. But what they do have, they had one bag of organic grapes left, and I snagged it before I left. But yeah, you have to really search. You have to look for.
Yeah.
So they've got like
So
one little case that's organic fruit, and then they've got this tiny little section of organic vegetables, and that's it.
yeah, so the fresh produce, so it's not typically in bags or anything, no plastic, whatever. It's this big. I mean, seriously, it's like one shelf. The rest of it, if it's in bags and stuff, like there's still like raspberries and blueberries and apples. And I don't know if I've ever seen organic grapes there. But those things, lettuce, spinach, whatever, those things that are in containers or plastic, they still have them. But the fresh,
Yeah.
So they showed me that I said something about the cilantro, and he goes, well, we have these little small clamshell cilantro. And I'm like, okay, well, that'll last me like, I don't know, 2 times because there's only a few sprigs in there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I always forget about the herbs. I should get some cilantro. I love cilantro.
Yeah. People love it or hate it.
I love it.
Taste-wise.
Not a dandelion fan, but I love cilantro.
I don't even taste it. I don't taste it, so it's.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, they're.
Look, yeah. So the whole point of that is to say we have several websites that we can link for you guys, but Kennedy is doing what we wanted him to do. He's much quieter than Trump is on things and Elon. So you kind of have to go look for it. And that's what Sheri and I've been waiting on, is to see what he's going to do. So today is Tuesday, you'll get this video at the end of the week. But so yesterday, Monday, the 10th, he met with Big Food, several of them. And we'll put links to anything that we find news source wise on that we believe is reputable. And then if you go to hhs.gov, he actually has his plan on how he's going to eliminate grass, at least, which is generally regarded as safe. And it's a huge loophole for the food industries to get food products in our foods, ingredients in our foods that aren't even FDA approved. And we all know what Sheri and I think of the FDA, but if they don't even have to go through the FDA, that's a bigger problem. So we're really excited to see some of the evidence of what Kennedy is going to do with our Make America Healthy movement.
Yes, yes. And generally regarded as safe for grass is just the company itself saying it's safe.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Nothing to see here.
Right. Yeah. It's all smoke and mirrors.
Beware, buyer beware. They should have to put a grass label on stuff so I can go, yes. Okay, I'm not buying that one.
Yes. I agree.
Yeah. Non-GMO grass,
I tell you. But we are excited. We will try to keep you guys posted, maybe do at least once a month a podcast on what's going on out there to help keep you informed, because we want to stay informed too, and it gives us all the reason to do the research. So if you have any questions about what we've talked about today, feel free to drop us a line in the comment section below. If you have any further information that we may not have provided today, feel free to drop links in the comment section below. In the meantime, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this podcast with everyone you know and love, and stay tuned for our comic relief at the end of this video. We will see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Effective form of protest you have right now that you can start immediately? Put a mask back on. Stop letting them observe your face, and have the side benefit of better health and protecting the rest of us in the world. Put a mask back on.
Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. It will be health to your flesh and strength to your bones.